It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day, I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It starts with some beer, so you shouldn't have fear. Two garbage guys with facts, but they both still have tact. It's that time at last for the best damn podcast. It's Can Crusher Day!
And welcome back to Can Crushers, the weekly episode. Mark Martinez alongside the English professor. John, how have you been?
I'm doing all right. Paul got hitched. I can't believe
Poor bastard.
I know. I don't know what he was thinking.
What is wrong with him?
We had plenty of advice for him, but I don't know. He went ahead and did it anyway. No, his wife's a great lady. I still don't get why he's not here. Like, what's he got going on that he can't be here?
He's drunk.
All right. You were there, so you know.
I was, yeah. Right. I lightened up a little bit. I had some water. He did not. He might wake up tomorrow morning for work. I don't know. That's about it.
The good news for everybody is there is no Pontification or English homework this week because I'm joining Mark live.
Yeah, so thank heavens we don't have to listen to that shtick. Thank heavens. No. All right. So a lot going on in wrestling. We're going to just break it up kind of by organizations today. That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, I would say so.
So one just came back around, and you actually watched some of it here before I went to Paul's wedding as we did something else yesterday. The NWA came back around, and their first show was this past Tuesday. And not getting into matches, but we can talk about some of the stuff. NWA Power. I loved it from the get. And you were like, what did you think overall?
Overall, I did like it. I hesitated a little bit because it did remind me of wrestling from 30 or 35 years ago. I thought maybe the commentators tried a little too hard.
Well, not Cornette. Cornette's good.
Well, no, Cornette's great. Cornette's great.
Jimmy, Joey, Gallo, whatever. Yeah, he's over the top.
Yeah, it goes without saying. Cornette is the master. The other guys were a little over the top. The wrestling itself, I loved. They didn't have a whole lot of time, so the matches were appropriately paced. There were some great beatdowns, just like on the old NWA at 605 on TBS. And when they were done, they jumped out of the ring and cut a promo.
And that was probably my favorite part. Watching it earlier in the week and then rewatching it again, I knew it was coming, but you're like, oh man, they just did a promo. You know, you saw the Dawsons, which are a big tag team coming up. All this was on against Perfect Storm. They just we're getting some stuff ready because some people don't know all these people.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying like I do, but like I do. I've seen the Crockett Cup. I've seen, people and everything. But the studio, the studio itself was spot on.
It really was. Yeah, it was very reminiscent. The fans were maybe a little more energetic now than they were back in the day. Although back in the day, they did get some chants going. But it was cool to see the studio and see a hyped up crowd.
There was more people in the front row of this studio than combined ever in the old Omni, because there was just one row of seats.
Yeah, maybe one side, maybe two sides, but it definitely played like a television studio where the cameras were situated and where the crowd had to be. But yeah, there were definitely more people at these tapings, if you will.
And there's tapings again in December. There's 8 shows that's taped now, so every Tuesday at 6:05, get on YouTube. You'll be able to watch this. This is going to transition into something, John, that we have in the hopper. But when my family went down to Florida in 88 and 87, I bugged my mom and dad so that we could go to the Omni or, the TV studio to watch NWA wrestling one time. And I just couldn't get them to make the stop in Atlanta. Or they were just, we got to get to Florida. I would have loved to get there, but I guess it was really hard to get tickets. You had to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody.
I imagine there weren't a whole lot to sell in the first place.
I don't even know if they were sold. Legit.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
So, NWA, great memories, great titles. You see, speaking of titles, they have the National Championship on Power. They have the Heavyweight Championship. You see the Tag Team titles. Did you like those?
I did. I liked all the belts, and I wondered what they were going to do because the United States Championship was a big part of Jim Crockett Promotions. WWE has that now, so I asked you, what are the belts? And when you said the National Championship, I said, perfect. That's even better than having the United States Championship.
Would you like to see them bring back, I mean, they need some more talent. Would you like to see them bring back any other random title?
If they have the talent for it, they've got some great teams, but if they can get some six-man teams, I would love to see a six-man tag team championship come back.
Well, why don't we have a six-man tag team championship on Can Crushers?
I think it's a great idea.
So we have 32 names. You guys know how this works. We have 32 names in the hopper. We're going to pull them out at random, give you a couple little thoughts of what's going on and who these people are. And then later this week, what day do you want to, because you have to do all your homework, what day do you want to put these up?
I don't know. You tell me, boss.
Tuesday.
All right. So
you have a day to write these then.
Okay.
You'll be busy at work.
Right, I will be. No Yankees tomorrow, so perfect. I'll work on this tomorrow.
There you go. All right. So Tuesday, the first match will be up. We're not going to tell you what it is, but we'll just start pulling names. We'll talk. We've talked about this for a while. Let's fill them in.
All right.
There's OVW teams. There's MLW teams. There's old NWA teams. There's WWE teams.
Men and women,
ROH. So there's a conglomerate of teams in this.
Good word. And I think the listeners probably figured out we had this planned ahead of time. I don't think they really believed for a second. We just kind of... Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe they're marks for us.
Right. All right. Who do you got?
All right. So the Can Crusher six-man tag team championship tournament begins with your boys, the New Day.
Wow. Right off the bat.
Yep.
New Day, everybody knows everything about them, and they're going to be taking on the York Foundation.
Oh, I love it. I'm such a nerd for these things. The York Foundation. Dustin's ex-wife.
Terry,
yes. Yep. She was Alexandra York back in the day.
Right. You pull, I'll write.
Okay.
This way.
Okay, so you got that match. Yeah. All right. Up next, Afa, Sika, Samu, the Wild Samoans.
Wow.
They freebirded the WWE Tag Team Championship back in the day when Sika got hurt. Samu filled in for his uncle. They will be facing, in round one, holy cow, talk about the Freebird Rule, Demolition. The Wild Samoans against Demolition. At the time, tied for most WWE Tag Team Championships back in the day. And possibly, I know Demolition had the record. The Samoans may have had the record. Go ahead.
There's a possibility of somebody could be fighting themselves in this.
Yeah, that's a great point.
In this tournament.
That's a great point, and we'll see if that happens as we go along. Up next, the New Hearts. What is that, Bob Newhart?
Yeah.
The cast of the New Heart Show?
Yeah. Okay. You have Brian Pillman Jr., Teddy Hart, and why can't I think of the other one? Davey Boy Smith.
Harry Smith.
Yeah.
I love it. They are taking on Villain Enterprises
from ROH, Marty Scurll.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That's actually something that could happen. That's going to be a good match. The fans are going to like that.
The Kingdom.
Again, ROH. In some of these guys, you'll know that some have been broken up, but they were so hot when they were hot. So, okay.
All right, so the Kingdom. Here's an example of what Mark was saying, how some of these people can fight each other. The Kingdom, and this isn't a case of that, but the Kingdom is taking on the Russians, Ivan, Nikita, and Crusher Khrushchev. So what happens if Demolition faces the Russians? You have Smash in the ring with Crusher Khrushchev. Only in Can Crushers can we bring you something like that.
Right.
Barry Darsow versus Barry Darsow. Up next, the Oddities.
Wow.
These guys were just a lot of fun.
I think these guys are going to go far. Now that I put that out there as a prediction, they're not going to make it out of the first round, but people love them.
They're not going to make it out of the first round because they're going up against the It Girls.
Yes! Callie! Jay Lee! and Valerie Verman. No, they are not.
Go It Girls.
I got to get my OVW peeps to vote for the It Girls.
Next match, Johnny Moxley is joining his old teammates, The Shield. My boys'
I only put that in
favorite
for Sylvan.
team.
I only put that in for Sylvan. They should not be in.
Is this the IWC team? The STDs?
It is.
Wow.
No, it's real STDs.
Oh, geez. Well, then the Shield better bring a shield or some sort of protection. So the Shield against the STDs. All right. Up next, the team that inspired this tournament, the Fabulous Freebirds.
Maybe Jason Lang will see a win. Maybe.
I think they're going to go far. They are taking on, I think there's another IWC team, Absolution.
No, this is Paige and...
Oh, okay, this is the latest. And what? Okay, we'll get to the IWC team. I always confuse Remy.
They're not in it.
They're not in it. Okay.
They could be.
All right, yeah, if we get a draw or something, they're
if
a
something
reserve.
happens, they could come around. Yeah, that was Paige, Mandy Rose,
That's
and
right.
Sonya.
That's right. Okay. Next match starts with Dynasty.
MJF from... Not Dynasty, the TV show that you used to watch as a kid.
Yeah, with my mom.
Right.
So the Carringtons and the Colbys, not them?
Not them.
No, okay.
Oh, yeah.
SCU. Is that Stone Cold University?
It is. No, it's another AEW team, Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right.
Well, you're really showing how much you don't watch indie wrestling. It's just like I have Paul here today anyway.
This is... wow. Holy cow, I need a second. This is the Hung Bucks.
Do you know who that is?
That's another AEW team.
Well, it's Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks when they actually had the ROH six-man titles.
Right. I did know that. I honestly did.
Okay.
They are taking on the Brood.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, they're led by Gangrel.
Okay.
And it had Edge and Christian, and they spit blood and were vampires. They were awesome back in the Attitude Era. Next match starts with the Legacy.
Do you know who that is?
No, but tell me.
Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a time when I wasn't really watching too much, but okay. Yeah. Whoa! The Machines!
Yes!
The Giant Machines.
You know them.
Yeah, the Giant, the Super, and the Big. Andre the Giant. And this is another situation where if the Machines face Demolition,
right,
you've got Demolition Axe against the Super Machine.
So Piper Machine, Hogan Machine, and...
It could be any of them.
And John Cena Machine are not in this one.
They're not. The Animal? George the Animal Machine?
George the Animal?
No, he's not. Okay.
All right, well...
This is IWC, right? Team Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broken up.
Broken up, but for this, they're getting back together.
They are. This is so important for them to win.
Yeah, we talked to them, and they're putting their differences aside for this one. Versus Dalton and the boys.
Dalton Castle?
Right, Dalton Castle, the Peacock guy. Love him. We saw him in IWC years ago.
Yeah.
The NWO. We're talking the original three members. The Hulkster, Razor, and Diesel.
Correct.
All right. They are taking on... Oh, wow, the Sheep Herders. That's going to be a tougher match than you think. This is Luke, Butch, and Johnny Ace, the Flag Bearer.
Right.
Which I don't know if the Road Warriors are in this in any sort of team. But
we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. But we could have the Sheep Herders with Johnny Ace against a Road Warriors team.
Which is his brother.
Which is his brother, Road Warrior Animal.
Right.
Folks, I swear this is a coincidence. Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors. I just pulled it out of a hat. I don't know if it lines up that they could face in the next round, but anyway, Dusty and the Warriors. Oh my God, I'm sorry, ladies. The Riot Squad.
Wow.
And I like the Riot Squad, but...
They're back together now. Yeah.
Yeah. Next match, my favorites to go all the way. Kerry, Kevin, and David, the Von Erichs.
Yeah, of course.
I am so hooked on WCCW.
You are unbelievably... Anything the Von Erichs could be in, you're just...
There was just not a bad match the Von Erichs ever had. They didn't know how to have a bad match. They're up against the OC.
I might give the Von Erichs a throw.
I love it, Mark. A favorite of ours, the Varsity Club.
Yes.
So we're talking Mike Rotunda, Kevin Sullivan, and Rick
Steiner.
Rick
Yeah.
Steiner. So this is a situation where he was in the York Foundation, no. Mike
No.
Rotunda.
No.
I do this every time.
The York Foundation was Richard Morton, Terrence Taylor, and
Richard Morton, Terrence Taylor, Ricky Morton, Terry Taylor. Help us out, Can Crushers Nation.
yeah, because you can yell it through right now. I have it on my phone, so I just need to find it. Nonetheless, you can pull the next one.
All right, we'll pull the next one while you look that up.
Thomas Rich.
Thomas Rich, that's right, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. This is
The York Foundation is against the Varsity Club.
no.
Oh, no, never mind.
Just the Varsity. The Varsity Club is up against the Triple Threat. Was that Bam Bam,
Douglas and
Douglas?
Candido.
Yeah.
ECW. So
Yeah.
we've gotten everybody.
We have.
Everybody across the board is
For
here.
what it's worth, Bam Bam Bigelow used to shop at my cousin's bakery in New Jersey. True story. My cousin said he was a really, really nice guy, very unassuming. Wore baseball caps to cover his tattoos. Anyway, story for another day. The last match is the Entourage.
OVW. That's Shiloh Jones, DL3, and Big D.
Yes. Against the last participant of the tournament, Break It Down, DX.
So this is DX, Shawn Michaels, Triple H.
In China.
In China.
Yeah, okay. Not Rick Rude.
No. Well, he was really an associate. He wasn't-
Yeah. I like it with China.
So.
I like to get her in the ring.
All right, so there's 16 matches ready to go. Again, Tuesday, this will be out. I'm not sure what match we'll decide will go first.
Oh,
but
I'll decide what match will go first.
You will, but when you send them to me, I will decide because
All right.
you'll send me more than one.
Yeah, okay.
And if he doesn't send me more than one, it gets pushed to Wednesday until he sends me more than one. That's why I have the power.
I said what match when I should have said which match. I'm sorry. We did a whole lesson on that. Even English professors make mistakes.
Right. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk WWE in general. All right?
All right.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Yes, sir. This is B. Brian Blair asking you to turn into the Can Crushers podcast, or you're going to get stung.
Welcome back to Can Crushers. We're going to start with
You're
some...
very docile. Pump it up!
Pump it up, right? And welcome back to Can Crushers. I am the English professor alongside the host, Mark Martinez. Mark, let's talk about WWE from the pay-per-view we saw last week, Hell in a Cell. We'll start with that.
Yeah, so we'll start right with the Hell in a Cell, and Hell in a Cell was over for me after the very first match.
It was hard to follow. The women put on a clinic of, again, we've had this discussion, how to have a cage match without it being a bloodbath.
And they didn't really use the cage, so to speak.
Exactly.
They
exactly.
used the cage for prop holder. The whole thing I'm going to get right into right off the bat is the chair in the corner. Sasha Banks was sitting on the chair, and then a big super kick or whatever happened there was unbelievable. That was well thought out.
Right.
The girls didn't have to try to manhandle this big monstrosity of... It weighs... How many tons did it weigh this time?
Well, oh my gosh, who knows? Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude at SummerSlam 90. Lord Alfred Hayes said every piece of the cage, now not four sides, because each side was two pieces.
Right.
Each piece weighed in excess of 350 pounds. And yet there was just one dude carrying a piece. So that guy is jacked up.
Wow.
So anyway, who knows what this Hell in a Cell weighs?
Right, and it's now painted, which adds, if you ask them, probably another 90 pounds or something.
Because they got to worry about lead poisoning, probably.
Right. Did you... We'll stop. Did you like the red Hell in a Cell? Why can't it just be a cage? Why does it need to be painted?
No, I didn't care for it. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't make it any more hellacious. Just very quickly getting back to this opening. Go ahead.
It plays into more that I hate it later on in the main event.
Of course.
All right, go ahead.
You mentioned a spot. Just a spot for me was Sasha flying off the apron at one point, maybe due to a drop kick, and slamming into the cage. I just felt the ladies sold out completely, put their bodies on the line. I know we say they didn't use the cage a whole lot, but when they did, it meant something. It mattered. I'm a huge mark for the Hart brothers, but Brett and Owen may have written the script on how to use the cage differently and not have it be a bloodbath, as Brett says, but these women took it to another level. This was hard to follow, and it didn't help that much of the rest of it was just garbage.
We're not going to talk about it, but then you had Roman and Daniel against the Bludgeon Brothers. Nobody cares. You had Randy and Ali that was just set up half an hour before the event started.
That was pretty good. I liked Ali's blocking the RKO. That was pretty innovative. When you think of everything we see and you still get a chance to see something you've never seen before, pretty good match. Pretty cool match.
Okay. Cross and Bliss lost the titles to the Kabuki Warriors.
Right. I like it. I'm not totally sold on Spitting Mist.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie.
I loved
Muda.
it back. Yeah, I loved Great Muda. I think it may be, I don't know, maybe I'm being chauvinistic. I find it to be a little forced with the ladies, though. They've never done it before. That was Muda's thing.
Right. No, I agree. I'm still not all in on the Kabuki Warriors because Asuka was woman beast, man beast, whatever, and Kairi Sen won the Mae Young Classic.
Great point.
And now you're burying both of them, putting them together, I think.
Yeah, they probably could have had some good matches against each other.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's where, who knows. Then you had the OC, all the OC against, they should have made the tournament, the Viking Raiders and Braun.
No.
No, not happening. The stupid 24/7 thing.
Oh, jeez.
Corbin versus Gable. I'm not really caring about that. But then we get to Bayley against Sasha. Bayley against Charlotte.
Right.
And, again, 10 times in so many years. Why? Why does Charlotte need the titles anymore, John?
I don't think she needs the titles. I don't know if it's a situation like her father. There got to be a point where her father really didn't need the title anymore, but he was a workhorse and he was reliable. And while I say that, I'm going to contradict myself, and I say to myself, maybe she's reliable, maybe she makes all of her dates, she works hard. She's not even the champion anymore.
Well, I was going to say, by the time you get done talking, she's already lost her title.
Right.
So why from Sunday to Friday does she need this title?
I don't get it. No, I don't get it. Her last two title reigns, 9 and 10, which, and I know she's her own person, 9 and 10 for Ric Flair were pretty significant. It's hard not to compare. It's just hard not to compare.
Right.
Sorry, Charlotte. 9 and 10 for her were 45 seconds and 6 days, whatever.
Right.
I'm not the math professor. Sorry.
No. But, I don't know. We're going to just jump to SmackDown real quick, and we'll come back to Hell in a Cell. Did this title change have to happen for Bayley to really turn bad like she did on SmackDown?
I don't think so. No.
Not at all. Because she got a haircut and she killed her inflatable, rockable, waving men.
Right. And she could have found a way to keep her belt at Hell in a Cell, which would have...
Dastardly.
Yeah, she could have found a dastardly way to keep the belt, which would have led to the rematch. And then in the rematch, she keeps her belt again by really going full heel.
Right.
I don't get the back and forth of the belt. Just did not dig it at all.
Our boys Brian Blair said it's just way too much anymore.
I agree. And he also said the money is in the hunt. Right. And I would have loved to have seen not so many changes of the belt, but have it on one person. And have one person chasing the other.
All right, back to Hell in a Cell. And then we found and saw, and the wrestling world was disgusted with this, John. Seth against Bray. It could have been something.
Yeah, I keep saying that I want to give Seth Rollins a chance because I believe in his ability. I don't know if he's overbooked. I don't know what it is. I am just losing faith in him. This should have been so much better than it was. You had chance of AEW. You had chance of refund. Unreal.
Because we've seen everything happen in Hell in a Cell before. This is the end-all of end-all matches anymore, right?
Right.
So there's tables, ladders, chairs, lions, tigers, bears. You pull a sledgehammer out and you hit a chair, it's an instant disqualification.
Unbelievable.
How does that, go back and watch Triple H.
And Vince McMahon.
Right.
He blasted him in the head with the sledgehammer and it was okay.
Right.
So stupid.
I understand there's lines that, oh shit, I forgot that, or just check them. Or say, this is not a no disqualification Hell in a Cell match. Everything has to happen inside the ring in Hell. Make up some nonsense about anything. You're good at it.
Yeah. This was so bad. There's just really nothing more to say about it than just how bad it was, how angry the fans were. And
I think it hurt Bray.
Yeah, it really did. It hurt both of them. It hurt everybody. It hurt the WWE. There just was a lack of commitment on everybody's part. They did not believe in the performance they were putting on. And you could tell.
Yeah. All right, Raw. Again, real quick. And I know we didn't bring it up last week, but how are you with this whole Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Lana thing? Because I know this is actually just grinding your gears. And I said it to make you pissed off.
Yeah, I never liked Lana. I thought the only time she was tolerable was if she was hitting on guys to make them jealous and then sending Rusev into a rage, like he did to Enzo, just like, beat him all over the place.
Why is that name back on Can Crushers?
Yeah, you mentioned Lana.
You liked him.
I liked those
You were
guys.
the only person I know
only
that
one. Yeah.
liked him and Big Cass.
Yeah, I still miss them. I can't stand her. I don't know what she brings to the table.
Nothing anymore.
Nothing. And they're trying to be a little racy, and I get it. And she's taking off her negligee or whatever the hell she's wearing. Not a fan of the angle.
No, I'm not either. But you still do like Lacey Evans.
Love Lacey Evans. She lost a couple of big matches to the same opponent, but I think it's all right. I think Natty deserves to win. Been around a long time. She put that feud to bed. It doesn't mean that Lacey's done. Sometimes during the climb, you get knocked down a few pegs.
Well, I think this week's Raw and this week's SmackDown are just there.
I got
Knowing the draft is coming up Friday that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to run through the draft things when we get to SmackDown because I know you were in transition of coming here, doing this, doing that. So you didn't get a lot of SmackDown time,
Not
right?
a whole lot, no. Okay. Not a whole lot. But I did watch Lacey Evans because I love her.
Nice. We both hate this Tyson Fury guy. We could give two shits about him and Braun.
Yeah, it made Braun look weak, I think, to leave the fight and then come back. Just didn't get it.
On the same aspect, I could care less about Cain Velasquez and Brock.
Correct.
In the whole, are you gonna at work watch Crown Jewel on?
I am not.
2:00, or we will not. I mean, I'll be done with work. There's nothing that has me saying in 2 weeks that, man, I gotta watch Crown Jewel.
Yeah, same here. And I'm about sick of celebrities, whether they're actors, fighters, musicians, coming in and kicking wrestlers' asses and never putting the business over. That's why I want to shout out to Andy Kaufman. One of the, to my knowledge, the only person...
He's listening, by the way.
Andy, if you're listening, wherever you are, Tony Clifton, if you're listening, at least you put the business over. You got, in 45 seconds, the ever-loving crap kicked out of you by Jerry the King Lawler, and you put the business over. So thank you. Everybody else has got to come in and treat our wrestlers like bitches.
So... there's nothing else on Raw.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Raw is going to be the B show. They're going to make it be the B show. They're going to push as much crap as they can on the B show. Which I was like, whoa, wait a minute, because the draft happened, and the first thing on SmackDown was Roman against Seth. Whoever wins gets the first round draft pick. Well, Seth got taken through the ring by Bray. He comes up, which means the Raw brand gets the first yeah,
right.
And they take
First
Becky
pick.
Lynch, which is shocking. I would think SmackDown or Fox, more or less, wants Becky Lynch.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nonetheless, Raw took her. Roman goes to SmackDown. The whole OC stays on Raw. Bray goes to SmackDown, and Drew McIntyre to Raw. So that's round 1. The way they did these is they did Raw got 3 people or picks. SmackDown got 2 by hours.
Gotcha.
You know.
So Becky on Raw, though, now that I think about it, makes a little bit of sense because Raw's got to have a hot item too. Because SmackDown's going to have a little bit more liberty with what they can do, and we've seen that already.
Right.
So they've got to have something hot on Raw too, and she's one of the hottest things going right now.
So in essence, I'm just telling you now, Seth will stay on Raw as well.
All right.
I foresee it. You know, they're a couple. You see stuff like this happening
Okay.
across the board anymore. And with Roman already being on SmackDown, taking him,
Yeah, you're right.
he needs
That's
somebody.
a good point. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
The matches sucked. You had Corbin against Gable again. Corbin wins this one. And round 2 comes out. So you have Randy Orton going to Raw, Sasha going to SmackDown, Ricochet going to Raw, Braun to SmackDown, and Bob, our boy Bob, remains on Raw.
I kind of like that. I might switch Ricochet, though.
I'm glad Ricochet's not on SmackDown.
Yeah, but I think for him he needs to be. But I'm okay with those picks, though.
Okay. Brock comes out with Paul, talks a little bit. Kane and Ray come out. The New Day beats OC. Pretty much getting rid of the whole Kofi Heavyweight Championship real quick. You know, he got a big win over AJ, so now maybe he can go for the U.S. title for AJ. Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not loving it.
No, not either.
Nah.
So round 3 comes out, and Bliss to Raw, Lacey Evans to SmackDown.
Okay.
That's a little bit different. KO to Raw, and he's pissed about this. I put a message up today on Facebook that KO wrote. He's literally pissed about going to Raw. If not, he's at least selling it well.
Right.
I really like KO.
Yeah, I think that's a work. And I like all those picks.
Right. Revival to SmackDown, which they're SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Right.
So, and then Nat stays on Raw.
That stays on Raw.
Breaking up the Lacey Evans
Yeah.
feud.
That makes sense. They put that to bed, and so they probably wanted to split them up. All right.
And then they went to commercial break, round 4. The Viking Raiders to Raw. Lucha House Party to SmackDown. Nikki Cross to Raw, which makes sense. Her and Bliss can still stay together. These next 2 picks I could give a crap about. Heavy Machinery goes to SmackDown, and the Street Profits are officially taken to Raw. I hate both of those teams. There's nothing I like about them.
Street Profits are a little too much. I want to talk about them in a little bit, in just a little bit. Heavy Machinery, I just can't get behind those guys. And the Lucha House Party are still a thing.
Right.
Yeah, that segment, not interested at all.
Nothing. So we have Flair defending a title against Bayley, and this is where we've talked about it already, that Bayley wins the title back. New haircut.
New attitude.
Killing the wacky, waveable, inflatable tooth men.
Yeah. That's kind of sad because the week before she teased something about that, like she was pointing to them, talking to the fans, almost
her
like,
whole- you just saw me do it. Yeah.
they're still here, and I still have them, and I'm still the same. And then next week she goes psycho and stabs them all and pops them all.
Right.
So.
It was on. You can tell John didn't see it. There was a axe handle with, I don't know, a machete on it. She was just wielding it around.
Dag,
like
she did
somebody
go
just
bananas.
made this like out of Bantine's woodshop class or something.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was, I don't know, maybe Swampfoot was there. Something. Whatever.
Those women will never have a bad match against each other.
They won't.
They won't. I just don't like the booking with the belt going back and forth.
No, I agree.
Never been a fan of that sort of thing.
I agree.
Even when they did it in the old days, I never understood. Dusty finally gets his shot, and 5 days later, he's not champion anymore. And he finally wins it again, and 4 weeks later, he's not champion anymore. I just never been a fan of so many short reigns.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about Ricochet? Because The next segment we'll do is Wednesday Night Wars because we have NXT and AEW. So if you want to.
No, I don't want to say anything about Ricochet. I was talking about...
you did say...
No, the NXT Tag Team Champions that you said got...
Oh, the Street Profits.
The Street Profits. Because we were going to talk about AEW. I want to give a shout-out to the fraternity because I think some guys are jacking their stuff.
I completely agree.
And it starts, for me...
with the Street Profits.
With the Street Profits. And as much as I love these guys on AEW because they're from Brooklyn, the Private Party...
Yeah,
I think coming out and weighing a total combined weight of a fifth of tequila or whatever, the fraternity was a total combined SAT score of 4,000 or something like that. Yeah. It seems to me someone has their ear to the ground on what the independents are doing and finding out what's hot because the fraternity was there first.
Right. Oh yeah, before both of these teams.
Absolutely. And it also reminded me of Ali. And his name's Joaquin Wilde now. Yeah, DJZ. That whole getup was DJZ.
Well before.
Absolutely.
Well before.
Yep.
He actually even used that for a skosh when he was on his way out. In on his way out? Does that make sense?
In on his way out. Okay.
Well, he was in TNA or Impact on his way out of TNA or Impact. So you know what I mean? He was like,
right.
He was just coming back to the Indies. He had his whole right. I have not seen Joaquin Wilde yet on NXT. I didn't see his match. I'm glad he went there, but I think is he getting pushed? Is he?
No,
he's
not yet.
He's not being used or anything. He's had a match though.
He has, and it was very good.
Okay.
And he came up just short.
Just short.
You're
all about short jokes today. I don't know why. All right, we'll take a quick break. The English professor is in studio today, so this is normally where we go and you hear the school bell and bitching. So we're kind of gonna have.
I do bitch a lot, don't I?
We're kind of gonna have a shorter show because I don't have 20 minutes of you
just rambling and giving a history lesson and loving the sound of my voice.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But we do have AEW and NXT coming up on the Wednesday Night War segment, so we'll be right back.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, this is Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, and my favorite podcast is Can Crushers. It should be yours, too.
And welcome back to Can Crushers. Mark Martinez alongside John Padlano, the English professor. Wednesday Night Wars, John. It's been unbelievable so far.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The first week of AEW was like Mondays back in the day. My son and I were flipping back. I didn't have a son back in the day, but
right. Good thing.
Right, you and I were flipping back and forth
at
the pizza shop. Flipping back and forth between TBS and or was it TNT, whatever, and USA. Anyway, I did that the first week. I watched both shows as much as possible in between commercial breaks. This week, I don't think I turned the channel. It was all AEW for me.
So you were all in.
I was all in.
Doubling down.
I doubled down. Yep.
You weren't?
It wasn't double or nothing. No, I just doubled down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we both watched AEW, let's cover that second then, because I watched both. I never watched both of them at the same time. I'm not going to be the switcher.
Okay.
I'm going to, throw it right on and watch one the following day. So this is what I did. I watched AEW Wednesday night. NXT, I watched actually this morning. So, Gulak against Leo Rush. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. This water's not helping. I don't know. Maybe it's the screaming, dancing, drinking of last night at Paul's wedding.
Yeah, that could play a part.
Gulak defends the title against Leo Rush, the 205, now NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Leo wins. So he's back. I've never been a fan of Leo Rush. On the mic, nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I can't stand the guy.
Nothing. Rhea Ripley comes out and beats the hell out of Alea, and she gets on the mic and says she wants Baszler. I think those two people were too similar, Rhea Ripley and Baszler.
Yeah.
Too similar. I don't know. I'm a Baszler fan. I'm not a Ripley fan.
Yeah, I like
Believe it or
Shayna.
not.
Yeah, no. Good one. I do like Shayna Baszler. She's grown on me. I'm okay with this feud. Just kind of two big tough women duking it out.
Breezango against the Forgotten Sons. The Sons win. Their finisher is really cool. Nothing is happening so far in NXT. You realize this?
Yeah, and that's the thing is they switched to live TV instead of the WWE Network, which was a bold move. I don't think it was the right move. I know they don't want people watching AEW, because what I would have done, what anybody would have done, is watch AEW, then throw on the network at some point and watch NXT. But if you're going to switch to live TV, you have to bring it. And AEW is, NXT did not.
NXT also announced that they're going to start traveling soon. Instead of leaving, staying in Full Sail, they're going to leave it. I think that hurts tremendously.
I'm with you.
I think that NXT Full Sail crowd is been groomed for NXT. You have times that I don't watch NXT all the time. I'm not going to lie. Prior to the Wednesday Night Wars, I didn't know who some of the people are. I think you're going to have those same people that they hear WWE NXT is coming. They hear the WWE. And if you're in, Jackson, Montana, or Fargo, Hawaii, hopefully those aren't really places.
I can't imagine they are.
Right. Places like that, you're just going to go because it's WWE and somebody might show up, is what you're hoping. But you don't know Bala. You don't know Cameron Grimes. You don't know Killian Dane. Do you care?
Yeah. That's a great point. I know WWE doesn't want to just sit back and wait, but I think it may have been, and what do I know, but it may have been wiser to let AEW run for a few weeks, see what they're doing, and then answer that instead of immediately going head-to-head with them and, I don't know, not even really having much of a game plan, it seems.
Yeah.
They're treated like such a secondary product, and that's unfortunate because they have some great talent.
I think 2 hours for NXT is too long.
Yeah.
As well. Because as you see, Breezango and the Forgotten Sons didn't need a match. Bala against Cameron Grimes. Nah. Roderick Strong does defend his title against Isaiah Swerve Scott. But the new era, the Undisputed Era, comes out. And now this last 45 minutes or so actually becomes your show.
Right.
Because the Undisputed Era's out. You get Dakota Kai, who's coming back against Bianca Belair. Great match. And then Walder against Kushida. I don't know if I'm even sold on either one of them.
Yeah. And the Undisputed Era, obviously, they're the hottest ticket right now in NXT. You want to maybe save the good stuff for towards the end, but I think in this day and age, we're all always grasping at shiny objects. You have to keep our attention. You need to sprinkle some of those guys in throughout the show.
Early.
Yeah, early too.
Early
yeah.
and often.
Early and often, absolutely. Mark.
I mean, we always say, and I understand WWE does it, with Roman and the Shield and everything. There was 3 matches at some point, on Raw back in the day with the Shield. Each of them having a match, but they would all come out with each other. That music, da-da,
right.
It's so recognizable that you're like, oh, this is a Shield moment. I need to get back in from the bathroom or snacks or whatever. 3 hours, 3 matches. They were on each hour. Undisputed Era has 4 people. You have 2 hours.
Yeah.
Do the tag team, Adam Cole against Velveteen or Ciampa. So anything.
Right.
You can, only for a 20-second spot, isn't going to do it. NXT lost this week bad.
Yeah.
Because I know we're going to get to AEW and go ahead.
Yeah.
This was unfreaking believable again.
So good. So good. I mentioned Private Party. They're fun. I don't know, like I said earlier, if someone's got their ear to the ground and is kind of mimicking what they see on the independent scene. But again, they reminded me of the Fraternity. Nevertheless, very, very good match against the Young Bucks. I love their intro where they've got the guy like he's outside the bar letting people in, and they've got that rope that blocks off the entrance.
Bouncer, John.
Bouncer, thank you. I'm a peaceful guy. I don't know what about, and he opens the rope to let them through. Just so gimmicky, so pro wrestling. I love it. I thought maybe it would have been cool if after they win their match, he's there again to let them leave the club. Maybe a little bit much, but I think they ought to try it.
I agree with you, and everybody that listens to Can Crushers knows, Ashley, I'm sorry. I hate the Young Bucks. I absolutely hate the Young Bucks. They're just not my style.
Right.
This whole match wasn't my style. But
Yeah, go ahead.
I was interested enough. I'm not saying it was complete garbage. It's going to be the trash match of the week or anything like that. It interested me. It's just I can't continue to watch a match like this every week. Sprinkle it with me,
Right.
like we were just saying, and I'm fine. But I'm not going to go meet and greet the Young Bucks, and they're just not,
They're not your thing.
not my thing.
And this style of match isn't my thing either, but I will say two things about this match. It was cool to see the Young Bucks out
Lose.
early, and not because I disliked them, but because it was a nice twist. I don't think that was expected. I think you're going to crown the first AEW Tag Team Champions. I expect to see them go far, if not win the tournament. They're out in the first match, so that was interesting. The other thing, and I told you this, Mark, what I liked about this match, even though it's not my style, is it was one means to one end. If they
Right.
flipped off a rope, they hit a move. There wasn't a lot of resting. Some of the things we see on WWE, just way too much flipping, way too much flipping to end up doing nothing. That's annoying. At least these guys, when they hit the suicide dives, they hit the suicide dives. And I don't mean to pick on
It's
Seth
Ricochet.
Rollins or Ricochet for
is
that.
the one.
And Seth Rollins. The suicide dives just don't look
Good.
They land on their feet and just kind of like push the guy down. But these guys sold out on their high-flying moves. Again, not my style. I was more than okay with the match because, like you said, it interested me, had a surprise twist, and every move had an end to a means.
Right. And exactly what John said, Young Bucks losing, I actually cheered at the TV because they can hear me.
Right.
Then Jericho came out, and this guy is still money.
He is.
Unbelievable. If AEW is anything, AEW is Jericho.
Yep. And it's good to see him give 100%. It really shows that he cares about this company. He's a class act. He is going to give 100% to any promotion that
he's all in on.
Absolutely. And he is all in on these guys.
So they're dubbed the Inner Circle. It's Jericho, Sammy Guevara, LAX, more or less, and then Jake Hager,
okay.
Jack Swagger,
Right.
We the People, whatever we're going to call him. First, the Inner Circle. Do you like it?
I do.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
It's got the right kind of personalities in there, different sizes of people, different looks to people. I love it. You think about factions, they were all similar within the faction. The Four Horsemen, even when they got Barry Windham, they made him switch from cowboy boots to whatever, designer cowboy boots. They dressed him up. Everybody looked the same. These guys are all a little different, and I love it.
My favorite one in the group is Sammy Guevara. I love him. I've seen him wrestle before AEW, Wrestle Circus that was out of Texas that did great things. Britt Baker went down there. Tessa was down there. Adam Cole and Britt were actually tag team champions down there.
Oh,
I
wow.
told you about where they beat on the ring.
Yes.
Yeah, you remember that. Actually.
Yep.
Okay. So Guevara was down there, and I saw him, and I've always had this little spark in my eye for him. And now that he's on the big stage, I think he's the one to watch. The other ones are all names.
Right.
Legit.
Right.
So Guevara's going to do something big in this.
I agree, and I see him later down the road doing his own thing.
Oh, yeah.
This is sort of something for him to kind of get the rub. Is that what they say in the business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Next match was Jimmy Havoc against Darby Allin. I'm sorry, guys, about this voice. Darby Allin, another young kid that does some random things. I love how he won with a body flop. That he stands on the top rope and he just flopped his body back on him. Didn't need to do an elbow, a king shot, a kicker. He just, boom, lands on him and wins.
That should be enough, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Did anything about this match for you?
I can't believe we skimmed right over this. One more thing about that promo is that Jericho was brutal. Brutal. I mean, just slashed the WWE. And, WWE ignores chants sometimes or doesn't know what to do with the chants.
AEW encourages them.
AEW encourages them. And Chris Jericho took that We the People chant and just told him it was stupid, it sucked, it was fabricated, whatever, it's dead. Oh, he's brutal. He's brutal.
I thought you were going to come with that more. And I didn't know if you were going to bounce back. I didn't know where you wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, I certainly had to talk about that. And they had a match, too, didn't they? Chris Jericho and... Yeah, they defeated Rhodes and the Hangman.
Yeah, that was later on.
Oh, it was later. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's called the main event.
That's called the main event. All right, I shouldn't...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So, back to Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin. It was a fight. It wasn't a match. It was more of a fight.
Yeah.
You didn't like it that much.
I didn't love it. No.
Well, that's all right. But this is where, he was working on his fingers. You know, they were doing old school stuff, so I thought maybe that was going to help you out a little bit, but no, nothing. You just don't like either persona, is what it is.
Correct, yeah, and I'm over the fingers thing. We've seen it a lot on the independent scene.
Right.
And that's another thing where I don't know if these guys are bringing that stuff with them when they get to
I would imagine.
Yeah,
all of them are indie.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Then you have the women's match. You have Priestley and Sukara against Britt and Riho, and anything that Britt Baker does is fine with me.
Yeah, I love what she's doing in AEW. I said that last week when she watched the women's match and gave her take, I thought she did a great job. I thought this was a great match, and she had some sort of crossface, right?
Yeah.
But then stuck her fingers in there for a mandible claw. Which, being a dentist, I imagine she knows right where to put her fingers to hit, the central nerves.
Right.
And it didn't, who'd she hit that on? Was that, she put that on Sakura?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Done.
Yeah. When the crossface was on, she was kind of hanging in there. And then when Britt stuck her fingers in her mouth, that was the end of that. It didn't take long for her to tap out. Good match.
Great match.
Very good match for the ladies. Absolutely.
Wednesday night, Britt will now take on her tag team partner, Riho, for a title match. Okay? I'm alright with it. Because Britt was one of the very first people to get in. I don't think Britt needs this yet. I think her and Priestley's battle, and I don't think Britt wins. I'm going to say this right now ahead of time. I don't think Britt wins because Priestley's going to come out. Their battle right now is hot to me. They just have something that man, I really like to see it. It started at one of the pay-per-views. I don't remember if it was Fyter Fest or one of them. But it just is going to continue. And the storylines are needed a little bit in AEW. And if you start with Britt first, I don't think you can go wrong.
Yeah. Warning, by the way. This is me trying to sound smart and loving the sound of my own voice. I'm going to overstate something, which, surprise, surprise. But
so you are going to get a pontification on here
anyway. Bit, just a bit.
Yeah. Great.
Jim Cornette's hatred of Vince Russo stems from a number of things. He hates his New York accent. But anyway, he said he would book things on Raw, Undertaker choke slamming Kane through a table, things explode, they set everything on fire on free TV. Where do you go from there? I am worried that giving us this women's title match so soon makes us say, where do we go from here? And that's why I think it's too soon for Britt Baker to get in the ring with Rio.
I don't think it happens.
You don't think it happened? Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
I don't think it happens. Maybe they both are in the ring, but Priestley comes out and just dismantles Britt to keep that going.
Okay.
No?
Nah.
You're not...
I don't know. I'm not on board with that. I think they're gonna deliver what they said they're gonna deliver.
Okay, well.
All right. Agree to disagree.
We'll make a friend's bet then.
All right. You still my friend?
I'm always your friend. 30 years, bro.
Exactly.
Spears against Mox. This is a match that didn't have me at all. I have nothing. The only reason why I like Sean Spears is Tully Blanchard.
That was pretty cool seeing him out there.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Moxley, to me, is still Dean Ambrose.
I agree.
I need a break. He needed to legit take a break and then surprise us more instead of the couple months that he was off. He's still Dean Ambrose to me. Spears, I've never been a fan of, so this was a WWE match for me.
I don't think we needed John Moxley back right away the following week. I thought it was pretty cool for him to come in during that 6-man tag team match the week before. I don't think we needed him this week. Not having him would have created a little more mystique for me, wondering what he's doing, where he is. Didn't love this match. I don't get... I love Tully Blanchard, believe me. I don't see where he kind of fit in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But what happened afterwards, Moxley wins. Omega comes out after the match, and he's got a barbed wire bat and a barbed wire broom.
Right.
Tosses the bat to Moxley. This match is going to get set up. Oh my God, they're going to go. And then Tupac hits Omega in the back of the head with a chair.
Right.
Or Pac, or however they say his name
Pac.
this week.
I think it's Pac. Yeah. That was a cool segment. Like, here,
Yeah, I
choose
didn't
your
mind
weapon.
it. Right.
Yeah, I like that. He came out to settle the score. It seemed towards the end, Moxley didn't want to, beat him while he was down after somebody else had already hit him. And I don't remember, did he help him up or did he think about helping him up? It seemed like his body language was saying that he was going to help this guy up.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I kind of wonder... He was maybe going to reach a hand down and then didn't, but in any event, they didn't fight.
They didn't fight.
Yeah.
They both tossed their weapons down.
Right.
Barbed wire broom. Do you think it's better than a bat?
I don't think so. I mean, a bat is meant for swinging. A broom doesn't have the dynamics of a bat.
Right, it
Yeah.
sweeps.
It sweeps. Yeah.
Right. On to the main event. It is Dustin Rhodes against Hangman Page against Jericho and Sammy, and you know who wins, already, because John told you 10 minutes ago.
Right, yeah. Jericho and company.
Right. And all hell breaks loose. Like, everybody, all the elite come out, all the inner circle come out, and Cody, Darby Allin attacks Chris at the end because that match, that we kind of scaled over that as well. The Jimmy Havoc Darby Allin match, whoever won that gets to face Jericho next week for the title.
I like how everything is intertwined.
Well, wins or losses mean something.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's great to see that. Wins and losses mean something. I like the to borrow a wrestling term, schmozzes 2 weeks in a row, where everybody runs in and is beating on each other. For a new product, it is telling us who the good guys and bad guys are, what's at stake, and I love it. And not to be lost in all this is Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross.
And the Executioner.
And whoever that, who knows, telling us what we need to know about the people in the ring and what else they have going on. The people not in the ring. They're doing a good job. They're really doing a good job.
They are. I'll stop there for a minute as spoiler. This Wednesday on Can Crusher Spotlight, we have the other half of one of the greatest tag teams in the world.
Absolutely.
We have Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, as that's already recorded, so you'll hear it Wednesday as John and I talk to him. He makes a great point, and this is where I'm going to correct you. There's no faces anymore. They're all heels. And he said that on the interview.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be heel anymore.
Yeah.
And you were trying to say how Tony and Jim are saying, this guy's a good guy, this guy's a bad guy. I agree with Jim. At some point, everybody's a heel.
Yeah, you look at Moxley doing what he did, and you think he's a heel, right? He shows up and he was a good guy where he was before. He's a bad guy now. Well, now he's got an opportunity to beat a guy down, whatever he had, a bat or a broom, and he doesn't, which is kind of a babyface thing to do. But everybody is sort of in between now. Yeah, it's a great point.
So, all right, that about wraps it up. We'll go through our shtick, and don't forget, first and foremost, Tuesday, you're going to start voting for the Can Crushers 6-man...
Tag Team Championship Tournament.
We can't say 6-man.
Why not?
6-person.
6-person? Oh! Good point. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. I really am. The 6-person.
So maybe we're going to have to change. That's hokey for us.
Yeah.
The 6-something.
Yeah.
You'll see it Tuesday when we
I'll think of something. Don't worry.
We'll think of something that... But make sure you vote Tuesday. I want to thank our sponsors.
We got Pro Printing and Office. They can take care of all your printing and office needs. Give them a call at 814-834-3006. Collar and Elbow, my favorite t-shirt, Mark's favorite t-shirt.
They're so comfy.
They are so comfy, but more than t-shirts. You got hats, hoodies, all sorts of wrestling gear. Use the promo code CANCRUSHERS. That's a capital C in CAN and a capital C in CRUSHERS, and you'll get 10% off your next purchase from Collar and Elbow. Mark, why don't you tell people where we can find them? You
can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Our Twitter's back up as well. You're going to get some stuff here and there from Twitter. It's just, I'm still not a Twitter fan.
So it's back.
It's
you don't tell me anything, but whatever.
I know. I don't tell anybody, but I mean it's back, but it's not really was never shut off. Nonetheless, all of them are at Can Crusher 69. It's that easy.
It's that easy.
And then you can email us probably at cancrusher69@gmail.com. Everything you get linked up. It's once I got a number, I ran with it.
Perfect. We're out there. Find us.
Right. Our website is, let's see him do this.
All right, https://cancrushers69.wixsite.com/cancrushers, as Paul would say.
And just announced, we now are supporting the Cauliflower Alley Club. It's official. If you guys don't know what it is, head over to our website. Head over to caulifloweralleyclub.org. Dive into this. I know you want to say something.
Yeah. Give the Brian Blair interview a listen, because he really digs deeply into what this organization is and the good things that they are doing. So listen to Brian Blair's interview. Listen to Jim Brunzell's interview.
Listen to all of them.
Listen to all of them. Yeah, go way back. But Mr. Blair tells us exactly what we need to know about the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Yeah, and... guys, if you're a pro wrestling fan, supporter, a pro wrestler, a promoter, whatever, you guys should really look into this club. I really want to continue pushing this. You really should look into this club, because at some point, this club may help you.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So, hey, you can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Buzzsprout, iTunes, Google Podcast, millions. There's a million different...
and millions
of different podcasts out there. But don't forget, John, just like Paul, has not gotten it on their phone yet. It's called the WrestlePost app.
I can't add anything to that because I did not get that on my phone yet.
You should, because this way, when we're out and about, we're going to see Pat, and we find out, oh my God, there's another wrestling on by Pat in Maryland. Or if we go to San Juan, we can see if there's wrestling there.
Wow, when are we going to San Juan?
I don't know yet, but
all right.
Nonetheless. Some events that are coming up in the near future.
Yeah, October 24th, WrestleRex. That is the Rex Theater on the South Side in Pittsburgh. Some of the guys you'll see, local wrestling star Sam Adonis, Facade, the Neon Ninja, Gangrel, who is in our 6-person tournament with the Brood. Obviously not Edge and Christian, but just Gangrel will be there.
And La Parka.
I was saving him for last. Yeah. That's October 24th, the Rex Theater on the south side of Pittsburgh.
That is a great event. We really need to get to another one of those in the near future, because the very first one that they had, we went to, and it's a frat party with wrestling.
It really is. It may seem that it's a little hostile because of the energy, but it really isn't, guys. It really isn't. Just there's no barricade. People are right up against the ring, and it does get a little scary because you're seeing these moves up close, and then a guy like Bulk Nasty screaming in your face. It gets a little frightening, but it is an awesome atmosphere. Everybody's very, very cool. Eat if you want to eat, drink if you want to drink. There are food vendors there.
The tacos were
really good. Yeah, the tacos were really good. We put a hurting on some tacos. It's a fun night, guys. You ought to check it out. And then just a couple of days later, October 26th in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, which I believe is Sam Adonis's hometown, if I'm not mistaken. Or Monroeville. I think he's from Monroeville. Nevertheless, McKeesport, PA presents Angel Gate.
Yeah, Rebel's going to be there, the TNA star. I actually am going to get some more information because matches are now being talked about from people on Angel's Gate, this, that, and the other. So more information will be coming on Angel Gate as I will be there. I think I'm the only one from it. That's actually Paul's honeymoon, so he won't be in town.
Why? Just kidding.
What do you mean? Why is he going on honeymoon?
No, why wouldn't he be in town?
No, I don't know. You have prior engagements. Colin and Soup are both playing Tiddlywinks that night. Something like that. So, nonetheless, I've committed. I'm going to go, and hopefully we can get some conversation started with Angel Gate as well. But the next big event, November 2nd, winner takes all IWC. There's names already announced. You have Brian Cage, you're going to be there. You have the North from TNA. So Josh Alexander and Ethan Page are teaming up to take on the main event, and this match is going to get down and dirty from the start.
Yeah, absolutely. What else will it be, Mark?
It'll be locked and loaded.
It'll be locked and loaded. There you go, and ready to go. This is going to be an awesome card, and the last IWC card was awesome too.
Yeah. Rhino is going to take on Jackson Argos for the IWC title, so all hell will break loose in IWC that night. IWC had an event last night in Clearfield. Hopefully we get some results from that from some of our peeps, and we can talk about that next week. Or it's on the IWC network, which is only $9.99. You get all their events streaming live.
You can't beat that.
No,
you can't beat that. Hey, Paul, I'm just messing with you, buddy. I know I've been giving you grief the whole show. If you're listening, hopefully you're not listening because you're, enjoying time with your wife. But I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Here's to many happy years together. And I love you, buddy. I hope to see you soon. And remember, since Paul's not here, I'll do this part. Remember,
he usually messes it up.
All
so
right. I'm going to take my time here.
Okay.
Remember.
Are you all right?
I'm good.
All right. Do you need a drink?
Nope. You guys ready? Remember, just because you're trash, it doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Is that correct grammar?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The commas are all in the right place. Reading this, looking at it, yeah. Yeah, no, good job.
All right, good. All right, have a great week. Hey, Wednesday, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell.